Namaste and welcome back to today's episode of Mahabharata Matters. In the previous episode, we saw that the venue for the Gada Yuddha was selected as Samanta Panchaka. Both the opponents, Duryōdhana and Bhima, were thirsty for each other's blood. The fight started. It was a spectacular duel. Truly, the skills of Duryōdhana were far superior to that of Bhima. Duryōdhana was fighting effortlessly and gracefully, whereas Bhima's style was efforted and energetic. Their maces clashed and resounded like thunder during a terrible storm. They were making each other faint with their blows and recovering again. They would come back and start fighting again. Balarama was enjoying the spectacle. He always loved to see the skills of Duryōdhana. He was Balarama's favorite pupil. Arjuna started getting concerned about Bhima. He went to Krishna and said, "I see Bhima is losing his steam at times. What do you think will happen?" Krishna told Arjuna, "In a fair fight, there is no way Bhima is going to be able to kill Duryōdhana. But Yudhishthira has put the entire kingdom at stake with his words now." Then he added loudly, "I hope Bhima remembers that he has vowed to break Duryōdhana's thigh." Then he smiled slyly. Arjuna started clapping his own thigh and drawing the attention of Bhima. Bhima was so involved in the fight that he had forgotten about his vow altogether. Now their conversation and Arjuna's actions had brought it back to his memory. Next instant, Duryōdhana had slammed Bhima and made him fall to the ground. Bhima tried to take a shot at Duryōdhana from the ground itself, but very dexterously Duryōdhana had averted it. After this, Bhima rose only half from the ground and took a powerful blow at Duryōdhana's thigh. Duryōdhana buckled to the ground with a broken thigh and he had fallen. It was this thigh that Duryōdhana had pointed to Draupadi at the Dyuta Sabha. It was this thigh he had asked her to come and sit on. It was this thigh he had clapped arrogantly when the Pandavas were losing in the game of dice. That day had come and Bhima had broken the thigh of Duryōdhana. As per rules in a Gada Yuddha, the warriors are not allowed to hit below the waist. But Bhima had done so. Bhima had also vowed that he would disgrace Duryōdhana by placing his foot on his head. So he danced around joyfully around Duryōdhana and placed his foot on Duryōdhana's head. He had completed his vows. In a flood of emotions, Bhima wanted to repeat this action. Yudhishthira came running and stopped him. "You have completed your vow. You do not have the right to disgrace Duryōdhana any further. There is no need to extend the hatred or the enmity. It has to end right here." Balarama was extremely furious with Bhima because he had broken the rules of Gada Yuddha when he broke the thigh of Duryōdhana. He was known as Haladhara and he carried his hala plow everywhere. He attacked Bhima with his raised plow now. He said Duryōdhana will reach the heavens till eternity. He fought fairly, but Bhima broke his thigh by breaking the rules, said Balarama. Krishna literally ran after Balarama and physically stopped him. He said it had to be this way. Bhima had vowed to break the thigh of Duryōdhana. He had to keep his vow. Duryōdhana stood for everything adharma. The whole world had to suffer because of the pride and arrogance of this one man. He has given so much grief to the Pandavas, it had to be put to an end. Krishna also added, Duryōdhana was so unfair to the Pandavas for so many years. At that time, you neither raised your voice nor your plow at Duryōdhana. I did not physically fight this war for the Pandavas, but I stood with them. I had promised Draupadi that I will give a respite to her tears. This had to be done. When the war began, you chose to be neutral, Balarama. You chose to go away on a pilgrimage. Now it is not right for you to come and intervene in the outcome of the war. You cannot avenge the fall of Duryōdhana against the Pandavas now, said Krishna. Balarama was furious. He went away to Dwaraka without even bidding adieu to the Pandavas. Now Duryōdhana, who had fallen on the ground, said, Krishna, you have caused all this destruction. It is because of you that this war happened. You have taught the Pandavas to tread unfair paths. It was because of you Drona, Bhishma, Radheya were killed. It was you who set up Ghatotkacha to make Karna use of his Shakti Astra also. Now you reminded Bhima of his vow. Until then he was fighting the war fairly. It was because of you this war has been won by the Pandavas in an unfair means, he accused. He added, I have enjoyed the world well. Now I will join my family and friends. I do not care if Bhima has placed his foot on my head. At this point, God showered flowers on Duryōdhana. The Pandavas were shocked to see this. Krishna roared like never before. He said to Duryōdhana, Duryōdhana, do not see this war as a singular event. See what built up to this. Remember your unfair behaviors until now. Remember how I came as a messenger and you refused to agree to any reconciliation. Remember I asked you to avert war. You would not agree. This day was in the making for many years and you are solely responsible for it, Duryōdhana, said Krishna. Duryōdhana lay on the ground in pain, inching towards death. So what are our takeaways from this story? One may wonder, how come a person as adharmic as Duryōdhana got such a glorious death? How come the heavens showered flowers on him and even Balarama said he will go to heaven? Duryōdhana had suffered enough while on earth for all his sins. He had seen the deaths of his near and dear ones and he had repented for being responsible for all their deaths. He had cultivated vairagya for all the pleasures of this world. Symbolically, the death of Duryōdhana signifies the death of ego. When the ego is killed, there is no returning back. The very purpose of our life is to understand this nature of ego and overcome its shortcomings. Duryōdhana stood for ahankara and mamakara, the meanness and the mindness. With the destruction of this, there was no war that needed to continue. Hence, he is said to have attained the heavens. With these thoughts, we come to the end of today's episode. Remember, in this series, we are discussing matters of Mahabharata because even today, Mahabharata matters. Hari Om!